Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action. We welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Goddard and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. The return man is Grant. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Joe Flacco bringing out the Baltimore Ravens. And Flacco, coming off his first 3-touchdown game since 2016, did it in an effort where Baltimore just steamrolled Buffalo 47-3.
Yeah, they just jumped on him in a big way, and there's a lot of pride going on in Baltimore right now. Missed the playoffs for the last 5 years. Joe Flacco, he got his job questioned because they took Lamar Jackson in the first round, so he came in rejuvenated. How about this new wide receiver trio? Michael Crabtree, Willie Snead, and John Brown all caught touchdown passes. None of them was on the team in 2017.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle. Baltimore's offense, we take a look at him here. You said it earlier, we were talking about Flacco, that he really spread the ball around. He did. I mean, Allen had 5 catches, Snead 4, and then you had 4 guys with 3 receptions each.
Yeah, and they all hit different spots, too, because Javorius Buck Allen, running back, had 5 catches. Receivers like Willie Snead, John Brown, Michael Crabtree, multiple catches themselves. And 2 tight ends, Max Williams and Mark Andrews, had 3 each. So nice job of Flacco spreading the ball around and involving everyone.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Flacco from the gun. Airing one deep for Crabtree. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Well, for Pittsburgh, as they come back out here, it's not going to get much easier. Then the Week 1 tie against Cleveland. Kansas City next week. And then they have Tampa Bay, but then Baltimore and Atlanta the following weeks.
Listen, if you're a defensive back, a secondary player, you better get your rest this week because Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, they're going to test you downfield. And that game with Tampa Bay looked like a gimme. No longer a gimme after what Tampa did against New Orleans. And then, who's that in the fourth game?
The Ravens.
The Ravens. Renewing that rivalry once again.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Last week it was Connor filling in for Le'Veon Bell, and he did more than just fill in. He was good.
31 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 57 yards receiving as well. You and I talked about this in preseason. He looked like he was back to being the best James Conner we saw at Pittsburgh before he got sick with cancer leukemia. He's back in full form now, and he played a great season opener.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Returnable here from the 38. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by Allen. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case. That play got bottled up. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. T.J. Watt able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. This Pittsburgh defense always keeping the offensive line on their toes, or I guess on their heels and back.
They are certainly about pressure, aren't they? Had 56 sacks as a unit in 2017, which led the NFL. They certainly live up to their nickname, which is Blitzburgh.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. The drive will start with Connor. And he powers his way up past the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete. It's a dangerous pass. That's what it was. And it brings up 2nd down. Well, partner, of all the great things that we saw in Week 1, unfortunately there was some bad. Quite a few injuries. And the toughest one, Delanie Walker with that knee injury. He's gone for the year.
Yeah, and that's really, really difficult for the Tennessee Titans to absorb because in a lot of ways, he's their #1 target. He may play tight end, but he was the security blanket for Marcus Mariota. He'll be gone for the year. Greg Olsen with the Carolina Panthers, he left the game in a walking boot, but an injury of the same foot that was surgically repaired last year. And then there's some other injuries like Leonard.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there to get him for a loss of 5. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, Why didn't he throw it away?
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now it's counter. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
First and 10 here for Flacco. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. A CD looking back to last week. One interesting thing certainly was that tie between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. You know, that was the first Week 1 tie since 1971.
Yeah, I think our research told us that the Broncos and Dolphins tied 10-10. And remember, overtime was instituted by the NFL starting with the 1974 season. So this is unbelievable, those 2 teams tied. Cleveland was +5 in turnover margin, had their chances, and got a field goal block down the stretch that would have won the game.
Yeah, and the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Flacco and the Ravens now, after the sack, need something good here on 3rd and long. They run with Collins, and he is going to lose yardage here. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a defensive stalemate. No scoring in that first half whatsoever, but a breakthrough can't be too far off. And for the start of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? On the return, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And then he's caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Switching gears for a second, because you and I were talking earlier. You had some odd games in Week 1. I don't think anything, though, takes the cake quite like that game in Miami. How about that lightning delay? Multiple lightning delays.
Yeah, when you open up the season in the state of Florida and it's not a dome,
good luck.
You've got a chance of this happening, right? It happened in Tampa a couple of seasons ago, maybe a couple of times if I remember correctly. This game wound up taking 7 hours and 8 minutes to finish when all was said and done. Normally we do a game in 3.5 or less. That's unbelievable. So great stamina for the fans, great stamina for the players. And how about our colleagues in the announce booth? Great stamina for them as well.
Indeed. Longest game in NFL history. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers at first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 1st down.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They run with Connor. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Again, it's Connor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A pair of negative running plays, and now they're looking up at a 3rd down at 17 to go. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They begin the drive on the ground with Allen. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Flacco here on 2nd down. Underneath to Allen. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run for it with Collins. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. With it is Brown. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Now it's Roethlisberger. And James has it. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Connor. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Connor. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And still nothing on the scoreboard. It remains a scoreless tie.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. Pressure mounting. Flacco. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. They go play action here on first down. Oh, and now he bowls him over, and he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Crabtree the target on that one. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And now out come the Steelers. They can still get into field goal range, partner. They got to work quickly, though.
I agree with you totally. Find a way to get the ball downfield and out of bounds. In a perfect world, they know what hash they want to get to for their kicker, and they already know the distance that he feels comfortable. That'll dictate what they do on offense.
See if they can get in his range. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Roethlisberger to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Roethlisberger finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down. First things first here, they got to pick up the first down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
Time to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. Here comes Grant on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. From the gun, Flacco. And this one is incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a handoff looking right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here's Jordan Berry now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To pass, Flacco. To Allen on the dump off. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And now 3rd and very long. Are you cautious here?
I think you have to be, because the first mantra of any football game is don't lose it. Then you give yourself a chance to win it. And if you go ahead and force something now, take a big shot that doesn't pay off, you didn't help your defense out at all.
Yeah, especially here in overtime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Flacco. Looking deep for Crabtree. And it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. He was looking for Crabtree that time, so we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Steelers set to take the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. This to win it in overtime. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And we will play on here in overtime. So it's his second missed field goal here. That wouldn't have ended the game, but it would have given him a leg up in OT.
And that's got to invigorate this defense. They did their part. Now it's time for their offense to put together a drive and seal the deal.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Flacco. And that's going to be incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming out of that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
This 3rd down just got even more difficult. 3rd down and 15 after the false start. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Sam Cook now. And in double overtime, this needs to be a good one. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They start with a give to Connor. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Two minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. The Steelers on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Right back to him on first down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for